I've been a digital nomad for the past 18 months. When my company went remote in the summer of 2019, I realized that I really didn't want to sign another lease in a new city. I'd always wanted to travel and I wanted to take advantage of my newfound freedom to do that. So for the past 18 months, I've been spending time in cities all across the US. I've spent on average about 2 to 3 months in each city. And in each new place I go, my goal is to really get to know a new place. I don't want to just check destinations off a checklist. I want each place I visit to feel like home, feel like a place that I have a relationship with. So I've decided to master the art of getting to know a place. And I think there's a helpful metric, at least for me, to frame all of this. When I'm visiting a new city and I want it to feel like home, the best way to figure out if I've accomplished that goal is to ask, will I miss a place when I leave? Will I have routines that I'll miss, favorite places to visit that I'll be sad I don't get to go, a community that I miss? And I think all those things are important components to what makes a place feel like home. Having community, familiarity, routine, and having context. Locals always have good stories about a city. And I want those good stories too. So because I only have 2 to 3 months to work with, each time I get into a city, I get started right away. And the very first thing I do is I establish a routine. I don't want to visit every grocery store in a new city. I want a grocery store that's my grocery store. I want a morning walk. I want a place that I like to go to get outside. Things that make a place feel familiar. And I also start right away building community because building relationships takes time. You need to establish rapport with people to build meaningful friendships. So I start doing things right away that'll allow me to meet people, whether it's being a regular at a coffee shop, whether it's playing pickup sports, whether it's meeting up with friends of friends. But whatever I do, the goal is to do it again and again, to build proximity with the same people so I can start to build meaningful friendships. And my benchmark for whether or not I have meaningful friendships is when I leave a city, are there people who are going to be sad and who will miss me? Are there people who are going to give me a big hug when I come back to that city a year later? That's the goal, to establish a meaningful community. And then context is really important for me too. I don't want to feel like I'm always disoriented in a city. I don't really know what it's about or where I'm going. I want to understand the lay of the land. I want to understand the history of a place. So I do a lot of research. I'll read about the city's history on Wikipedia. I'll follow local Instagram accounts to get a sense of the culture. I'll study the lay of the land on Google Maps so I understand what I'll hit if I go in each direction. And I really try to feel grounded in a place. And here's the thing about all of this. Everybody's different. So these things that are really important to me might not be important to you at all in feeling connected with a place. And the goal is to figure out what works for you. But over the past 18 months, I figured out some really important things for me to make a city feel like home. And one of the very first things I do is I become a regular at a coffee shop because I want a place that feels like it's part of my routine, where I can meet new people. So I find a coffee shop I like right away. I also really like getting outside in a new place. You'll see here pictures of learning how to sail in a river in Charleston, South Carolina, and swimming in an alpine lake in Colorado. I love water, so I like to get out in the water of a new place. I also like to hike. I don't feel like I'm really in a new place until I've really felt its terrain. I also love exploring farmers markets because I love food. These are pictures of a farmers market that I found in Boulder, Colorado. I want to talk to the farmers and know what grows here, what's the growing season like. I want to eat the local food that comes from the place that I'm visiting. And I also love immersing myself in local culture. So these are some of the books and music that I listened to when I was in Texas. Texas has amazing culture. And the thing about music is it's really grounding too. So I'll create a playlist of music that I wanted to listen to when I was in a place. And when I listen to it again in future, it's very grounding. It feels like I'm there. I also love going to museums and asking lots of questions. I like facts. I want to know, why is there a city here? What industries was it built on? What made its culture different from all the places I've been? And I like trying the local habits. So in different cities across the South, I've eaten lots of barbecue. In St. Petersburg, Florida, I ate lots of Cuban sandwiches. In Traverse City, Michigan, I hiked the famous sand dunes. I like doing things that make a place feel unique, because the goal is always to understand a place and to have something to come back to. And again, that's different for every single person. So the goal for you as you're traveling and getting to know a new place is to figure out, what are the things that make me grounded in a city? And then establish a routine that allows you to do those things. So whether you're in a city for a few days or for a week, you can make that place feel like home and feel like you built a relationship with it and you understand it and you have something exciting to go back to next time you visit.